Imagine you've had a disagreement with a colleague, a rival, or even someone you simply can't stand. The tension is thick, words are sharp, emotions are raw. You think the only path forward is avoidance, compromise, or outright confrontation. But what if I told you there's a psychological trick that can turn this dynamic upside down, without confrontation, without flattery, without manipulation? It's called the Ben Franklin effect, a counterintuitive principle of human behavior that flips intuition on its head. The idea is simple, yet powerful. If you want someone to like you, don't do them a favor, ask them to do a favor for you. It seems strange at first glance. Our instinct tells us to do favors for people we like, not the other way around. Yet psychological science and cognitive theory show the opposite. When someone does you a favor, their brain reconciles the act with their self-perception. They reason, often unconsciously, I helped them, therefore I must like them. Let's step into a story. Benjamin Franklin, the founding father himself, had a political rival, someone he often debated with, someone he disagreed with deeply. Instead of trying to charm or argue him into friendship, Franklin did something clever. He asked to borrow a rare book from this rival. The rival, despite his initial disdain, lent the book. In returning the favor, Franklin's rival found his own perception shifting. If I helped him, I must not dislike him as much as I thought. Over time, the two men's relationship improved significantly. A single small favor transformed animosity into rapport. Science explains why this works. This is cognitive dissonance at play. Our minds crave internal consistency. When our actions conflict with our beliefs, like helping someone we dislike, the brain resolves the tension by adjusting our beliefs. I must actually like this person. The act of helping rewires perception. Instead of forcing people to like you through charm or logic, you let their own actions convince them. Here's the beauty. It doesn't require a grand gesture. Small, subtle favors are enough. Borrowing a pen, asking for advice, or requesting minor assistance can trigger the effect. The key is the favor must feel voluntary, personal, and genuine, not forced or manipulative. Imagine a workplace scenario. You have a colleague who is competitive, cold, or even dismissive. Instead of trying to charm them or argue for your ideas, you ask for a small piece of advice. Hey, could you review this report for me? Your opinion would really help. That simple request engages their brain in cognitive reconciliation. As they help, their perception shifts. They like you slightly more, see you as competent, and start considering your ideas positively. The effect is subtle but profound. Over time, repeated small favors can transform relationships, even with those who initially opposed or disliked you. You don't force friendship or agreement. You leverage human psychology to allow them to choose it themselves. It works in social settings too. Consider someone distant in your circle, maybe a classmate, a teammate, or a distant acquaintance. Asking for small assistance, guidance, or opinion signals respect for their ability while activating the Ben Franklin effect. Suddenly they're subtly more engaged, more cooperative, more positive toward you. The brain interprets action as evidence of internal preference. There's another layer, status and respect. When someone does you a favor, their self-perception of competence and capability strengthens. They see themselves as generous, helpful, and valued. Your subtle request allows them to feel this positive self-image, and in doing so, they unconsciously align their feelings toward you. You become associated with positivity, conflict. Let's visualize this dynamically. A political leader wants the support of a skeptical senator. Instead of pleading, the leader requests a small favor, feedback on a minor bill. The senator, by assisting, experiences cognitive dissonance. If I helped him, I must not be opposed to him entirely. Slowly, the senator's perception shifts. They begin cooperating, negotiating, and eventually supporting initiatives they might have initially opposed. Small actions, profound change. Now here's the practical hack you can apply today. Identify someone neutral or adversarial in your life. This could be a colleague, teammate, or distant acquaintance. Ask for a small, genuine favor, something minor, non-intrusive, and voluntary. Even asking for advice counts. Show appreciation sincerely. Gratitude reinforces positive perception. Observe subtle shifts in behavior and attitude over time. Small favors gradually build trust and rapport. Repeat if necessary, scaling slightly without forcing or overstepping boundaries. You can also apply this in professional settings. Want a client to favor your proposal? Ask for a small contribution first. Feedback, a decision on a minor task, or an opinion. Their action makes them more receptive. Want to improve a strained colleague relationship? Request their expertise on a small project. The act of helping rewires their perception, often more effectively than charm or negotiation. Here's a deeper psychological insight. The Ben Franklin effect works because it shifts control to the other person. You're not pushing them to like you, they're choosing it through their own actions. Humans respond more favorably when they perceive autonomy in their choices. The favor activates internal consistency, aligning feelings with behavior. Let's bring it home with a personal story. Imagine a rival team member at work, someone who consistently undermines your efforts. Instead of confrontation, you ask them for a minor piece of help, maybe their opinion on a presentation. They comply. Over the next few interactions, they subtly treat you with more respect. Ideas are considered, dialogue improves. You didn't force change, you let psychology do the work. The key takeaway, the path to influence and friendship isn't always charm or argument, it's action and perception. Small favors are like a psychological lever. They shift perception silently, steadily, and subtly. Here's your call to action. This week, identify one person you want to improve your relationship with, whether a colleague, acquaintance, or someone you've had friction with. Ask for a small, genuine favor. Observe how their perception shifts. Notice how trust, openness, or cooperation increases, not because you demanded it, but because they acted and aligned their feelings with their own action. Because here's the counterintuitive truth: those who help you often end up liking you more. The act of helping rewires the mind. You don't persuade through words alone, you create opportunities for people to persuade themselves. And that is the subtle, enduring power of the Ben Franklin effect.